Then pre-Portsmouth at home. Neil, I know it was a defeat on Tuesday ultimately, but is there a bit more belief after what happened in the second half?
Yeah, hopefully that there should be. I thought we played some really good stuff second half. I thought we played quite well first half, bar obviously, conceding goals which needs to be stopped. But yeah, they certainly bounced back from a disappointing being 3-1 down, and no hiding place. That's when they really stood up and were counted, and I thought they played really well.
And if there's the resilience to come back from 3-1 down, is there the resilience for a couple of really tough days in training to try and sort those defensive problems out?
Yep. I mean, it's an ongoing thing. You're always working on things. Sometimes it's forward play, sometimes it's defensive, sometimes it's both at the same time. And we're not sort of sticking our heads in the sand. We're conceding too many goals, and it needs to stop.
How do you go about that when you're trying to sort that out? Is it something that can be like clicking your fingers and it just is suddenly sorted, or is it a gradual process that will take steady improvement?
The proof of the pudding will be in the eating, I suppose. We've not really changed anything from last year when I think we had the most clean sheets in the league, and we've still got pretty much the same personnel, and we're conceding at the moment. So it's something that we're not going to overreact to. We're not going to start panicking and making too big a deal out of it. But it is. It'll be the 6th game of the season on Saturday. It's time to, really we should be up and running now, and we need to start tightening things up as a group.
And personnel-wise, Steve Elliott, I mean, is he expected to come back in? Because if he does, then obviously he's a huge figure, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Hopefully he'll be fit. He got a bad whack last week, so he was groggy for a few days. Whether he'll be available for Saturday or not, I'm not too sure. But yeah, we've had to change the personnel around a little bit after the Bury game, with the injuries we got. But hopefully Steve will be okay.
And if it's not Steve, say it's Jason Taylor alongside Ryan Ince, he's got good people around him either way, hasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even we didn't have Matt Richards the other night, and he's able to slot into the back four as well. So we do have options. I mean, we've not got as with Troy being out injured, we've not got as many bodies as we'd like down there, but we're still comfortable with the players we have and the options we have.
And you mentioned Matt. How's his hamstring?
Yeah, he was sore during the Bury game, and ideally we probably would have liked to have taken him off, but with circumstances going against us, we weren't able to. So he's been sore this week again. Matt's one that we're really going to have to assess and be careful with, and see nearer the time if he's available or not.
How difficult a job is it going to be for Mark and yourself picking this team? Because obviously you've got a couple of people who might be coming back, and you've got others who perhaps made an impression the other night.
Yeah, I mean we keep saying to the lads, we're not bothered who plays. We want people to earn the right in the team. If they're in the team, stay in it. If they're not in the team, keep doing the right things. That and when the opportunity comes, they need to take it. And we're still waiting for a lot of players to really put the foot down and stamp their authority and say, yeah, I want to be in this team.
Jamie Cureton, another who's sort of coming back into the mix, was on the bench on Tuesday night, and I suppose he's just been absolutely chomping at the bit pretty much probably as soon as he got stretchered off, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think it's 18 minutes he's played this season with a one goal. He's a great lad. He's got unbelievable movement, especially at this level. Defenders can switch off. But again, ideally he wouldn't have been involved Tuesday, but we sort of had to do with the numbers. We managed to score a couple of goals without using him. And whether Saturday again's too early for Jamie or not, it's something that we're assessing at this moment.
I suppose the good thing is, though, all your strikers have been scoring so far this season.
Yes, yeah. I think it's natural to go into a season. You can worry sometimes about where your goals have come. It's difficult to score goals, and we're scoring enough. It's just the other end where we need to tighten up.
Portsmouth on Saturday, and I suppose they've struggled at times to adjust to this level, but that's understandable, bearing in mind the problems they've got.
Yeah, they've had a probably a horrendous couple of years, for people that do support the football club. But they're back on the up, and they're going to be marching up the leagues, and it's a big club. It's a real well supported club, and being in the bottom tier, I think teams will be raising the games against them. They have lots of fans following them, which increases the atmosphere. And they always seem to be good occasions, I think, from the outside looking in when Portsmouth are playing games, and hopefully it'll certainly be a good atmosphere on Saturday, and we have to stand up to them and do everything we can to get the 3 points.
Yeah, they've already sold out their allocation of 1,550, so the away end's going to be packed. I suppose there's the challenge to the home end, and it's just going to create a cauldron, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've said a few times, whenever we're playing the so-called bigger club with a good following, that's when I think our fans are at the best, when the opposition fans are making noise. It's the quieter Tuesday night games against maybe a lesser supported team, when the away fans have noise and ours can be quiet, but that certainly won't be happening on Saturday, and hopefully it's our fans that'll be singing the loudest.
And Cheltenham have been very sensibly managed financially over the years. I suppose Portsmouth's the lesson to every club across the country, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sure. I know there's been a couple of examples of I don't know whether it's mismanagement of finances or what, but I mean, it's certainly not happening here. I think our template, the way the club's runs, is as good as anything in anywhere. But yeah, there are warning signs for Coventry were the same. They've going back years, there's been lots of clubs, Leeds. We're a really well-run club, and it's a great place to be working at.
Injuries apart from the ones we've discussed. Any other worries from the other night?
I think we're okay. I think there was a clean bill of health for the starters from the other nights.
Great stuff. Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Neil, the defensive situation that you said you're not burying your head in the sand, and you know it's got to be addressed. But are there specific things that you can see that aren't being done that should be being done, or is it a bit more complicated than that, or is it just do you think these things can be ironed out?
Yeah, of course it can. I mean, we've got some useful tools in the office. DVD work, and you can see patterns. And I'm not going to obviously go into details, but there's certain things, whether it's individual mistakes or whether it's the whole team as a unit that's not set up right. There's been certain little patterns that we've spotted and keep reminding players about, and that's what football's like. You never have the final answer. There's always something to improve on and work on, and at this moment in time it's perhaps our defensive shape that needs to be improved.
Yeah, great clean sheet record last season, but there were times where when you let in a couple, you were letting 3 or 4 away, didn't you, a few times? Is that the annoying thing, that you're letting in sort of gluts of goals in quick space of time? Has that been the most frustrating thing? We
talked about that last season, like you say. I think Rotherham last year and Chesterfield, and it's almost like if we concede, we feel like we have to go the other end and score straight away, and you leave yourself open. I mean, sometimes you have to stay in the game. You've got to accept that you can't boss the game for 90 minutes. You have to accept that the opposition will have will have the ball at times, and you have to stand up and dig in and keep in the game. And that happened a couple of times last season. And as I say, there's always something to be working on. There's always the team evolves, and mistakes change, and there's always something to be working on.
Yeah, the manager was understandably unhappy after the Bury game, and there was an inquest on Sunday, but after Tuesday he was much more upbeat. Said it was the start of the season. So have you been quite positive with the players about the way they came back on Tuesday and took it to penalties?
I thought we were in for a warm down on Sunday with the game being Tuesday. I didn't realise it was an inquest, but yeah, there's as I say, there's always things to be working on, and sometimes you have to give them gentle reminders. Sometimes you have to be a little bit more firm with them. We're able, as I say, we've got a good room upstairs now. We've got a good young lad from Worcester University who's helping us with the DVD stuff, Craig, and there's no hiding places sometimes, and we don't rewatch the game just so you can point things and shout at someone. It is a learning tool. It is about trying to improve and correct your mistakes. So there's different ways of doing it, and they've been reminded this week.
Yeah, the chairman said that he's quite keen to discuss the contract situation with you, Mark, and that have you spoken to him this week? Is that ongoing? Is everything going all right with that?
Yeah. I think we arranged to meet him last week, and just with the away games we had and the travel and the distances, and that again, it's a non-issue. we're happy here, they're happy with us, and you know, I'm sure there'll be something to report soon.
Yeah, because both parties seem to want to do it. And is it just a case of sitting down and doing it because it's been a pretty busy start to the season, obviously, hasn't it? So
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, we're happy here and they're happy with us, and I just think, yeah, it'll get done.
yeah. Cheers, Neil.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot.